Oh my goodness, look at all these bombs going up. Can the Spirit Fox hold on? Spirit Fox goes down to all the bombs.
Everything just went down so quick. He's trying to get any other percentage on the outside of the base.
That multi-year cannon is insane. All he has left is the king ability with the wall breaker and 3 super barbs for the outside. That spiky ball did actually go and get a few nice buildings there. Gonna rack up the percentage points a little bit, but this just isn't the result they needed. Not only did the Royal Champion go down, but the Grand Warden and the healers did as well. The last Root Rider about to die to this Ricochet Cannon. We're just relying on the hero abilities here. A little bit of a percentage lead, basically back to an even playing field here, which is exactly what we want to see. That's what makes for the best matchup.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, they're only 13% in the lead now, so a much tighter matchup than what we had at the start. However, let's see what All Exceed can do. Does run straight into the tornado trap. Multiple bombs. Spirit Fox goes down. He's kept the Royal Champion alive, but he has had to use the haste file here. Recovers a little bit of health, taking down those defenses, but he's still got a lot of invis spells to use, which he's got planned on the Royal Champion.
No recall spell on this one. This is one of those setups where he's just going to use every single spell on the Royal Champion early, and if he can keep her alive, that is. Oh, the Town Hall damage hits her with the Poison Tower, and down she goes with 4 invis spells, not even used.
Yeah, he was planning to take that central area with the fire spitters, and as soon as she started moving down to the south, I knew that is not what he wanted, trying to send her back. But the invis spells are so difficult to use on the dragons, aren't they? You can see he's used a couple there to try and help from that air defense, but they're obviously not as helpful as with the Royal Champion. He's trying to get that Town Hall down. Meanwhile, we still have the defending Furnace just raining damage onto the dragons, so they will get through that Town Hall. He's got a lot of base left over now.
They picked a very heavy hitting area to start the dragons at. They took so much damage early. It looks like the Grand Warden actually died before all the dragons did, but this is going to give Elevate a solid chance at getting the lead back with their next attack.
Yeah, I mean, when we think of that opening attack by Solinho, it was a 79%.
They pretty much have to 3-star their last 2 attacks, barring any sort of crazy 1-star defense. I'm not going to start the Jinx train, or maybe I'm just hopping on it because you already started it, but Indy gonna be the next attacker here for Only Bads. He's going with the classic setup again, except this is a little interesting. He brings 3 overgrowths, not just 2, and he's using 1 right away.
Well, you don't have to invest the extra invises to get the RC to go where you want it to, because the overgrowth will just shut down the whole area of the base. Now the RC will go ahead and she'll take out the Town Hall, second invis invested there, and just being extra cautious. It looks like the RC was just there to get the Town Hall down, and she is out.
Sending the Root Riders in on the right side of the base with the Troop Launcher to assist. Nice poison spell on the enemy Furnace, and we'll probably see the Barb King used on the outside to keep the funnel going.
Yeah, it's generally where he's going to come in with his snakes just helping out quite a bit. And yep, there he goes. King's right on the outside, and he's going to go right into the Expo, which will help him start spawning some more snakes in there. Now all those roots are going to have a nice little way right around this overgrowth area. This attack is definitely questionable if it's going to be able to cross that finish line, because still got healers going. He still has King with ability, but another root falls and they are going to be under so much fire. Keep an eye on this merge multi-cannon. That thing can just wreck any unit in the game.
That multi-year cannon is insane. All he has left is the King ability with the wall breaker and 3 super barbs for the outside. That spiky ball did actually go and get a few nice buildings there. Gonna rack up the percentage points a little bit, but this just isn't the result they needed. They desperately needed a 3-star here, and now they're gonna have to start relying on a crazy defense to save them.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
And he is going to start things off with that Royal Champion, just taking down that bottom side with those defenses, because he wants to utilize a Flame Flinger. This will be close. Hopefully there are no Testa. Now this top side going in with the Warden, and take a look at that really smart use case of that one outside invis. You might have seen it. He only did catch the gold mine with the one and final invisibility spell.
Now, he's got the Flame Flinger stripping apart a couple of the defenses at the bottom. He's obviously keeping an eye on that, but he's got the spotters on call as well. In the rest of his team, we do have the... which hero was that with the Angry Jelly down the bottom? With the head scrambled, it's hard to see. Okay, Archqueen.
And now he has to get the tunnel because that Warden is going down.
Yeah, that defending Headhunter just absolutely obliterated his Warden. Healers will go rip here as well. Let's take a look as the King will go to Phoenix, so gets a tiny little bit more value. He's got the Rocket Loons. He's got a couple of spells here, so he's going to have to commit everything to that Town Hall. And this is one thing we've seen from Eddie Brook yesterday in that of his Warden Charge Rocket Loons. It was a 95%, but it was a similar situation where it was pretty scary in terms of that Town Hall. Looks like he's feeling relatively safe for it with his Royal Champion still in that recall spell. There she comes now towards the Town Hall, and let's see what he does to finish up.
Oh, the Rocket Speeder to get that second star, but again, remember, the percentage are not looking that great.
That is correct. It is an 86%. Well, let's see what All Exceed can do here. I mean, they've got to focus up, get their head back in the game, but they're certainly still within this, trailing by a star though, so let's see whether they can get the 3-star on this one.
A good shout out there, and we're once again seeing this Root Rider army being utilized. It is the favorite amongst the pros in this meta. Very simple, but effective. Royal Champion walk to set the funnel, and then the Root Riders here from the east side of the base. Again with a double overgrowth setup, and we're kind of just using everybody together here on that 3 o'clock side. Probably going to see the King used a little bit further south, but the Queen just right in there with the Root Riders here.
This
is one thing we've seen a lot of the pros do, especially in the past, is even though you can hit every defense in the core with that overgrowth, he kind of staggers it to the side a little bit because he wants to sideswipe at least a couple of those core defenses. Otherwise, when that overgrowth expires, I mean, you have like all 8 of those heavy defenses hitting you at once. So often nice to at least take out 1 or 2 of them. But nonetheless, even with that, I mean, it's so much damage here as all of his units get to the core and no more spell support, and everybody's exposed and they're getting hit from just defenses at multiple angles.
Yeah, like you said, every single angle firing at him. He's got that final Ice Golem to try and protect the King, let him get that little bit further. Still has the King ability as well, and a couple of Super Barbarians. I wonder if you can just use those on buildings to like the north of the base to try and drive the percentage a little bit more, because at this stage, there's not really a hope that he's going to get the 3-star, so he has to try and just select the least hit point buildings that he can, as you notice he's doing right there now.
Yep, and that's a good shout, especially in this meta where 3 stars are not super common. You have to be able to accept.
Now we have Heath Ledger, though, from Dizzy Stamina. He did get 2 3-stars yesterday, so hoping to continue that momentum, hitting a lot of giant bombs and everything at the moment. Although the Spirit Fox went down, I guess it's good that his Root Riders also don't have to go over that area, because as we've seen in the last attack, you know, Valkyries went down pretty quick to the giant bombs.
Yeah, good and bad news at the same time. We're having the same approach again with the overgrowth for that tower. He needs to poison now that defensive flank castle troop, which is the furnace, which is the most important troop to hit.
Well, let's see if it is. There we go. Oh, Archer Queen is moving to the middle, so he's had to press the ability to try and get through the Ricochet Cannon. Overgrowths everything else there and decides to use the Invase as she's chasing the Royal Champion. Now going after the wall. Managed to get... It looked like the wall instantly exploded. I thought there was a wall breaker there, but it's not going well in terms of losing the Queen there. Yeah, the Giant managed to punch its way into the center. With the King's Spiky Ball, though, he gets down to the Crusher Motor, which was about to take the Giant, but now you see the devastation after the abilities being used. Everything just went down so quick. He's trying to get any other percentage on the outside of the base, but Elevate were already 14% in the lead, as well as a star, and this one obviously increases the total destruction lead by quite a margin.
That is not looking good for Dizzy right now. Elevate is just putting up a show because Let's imagine Dizzy would have still 3-starred. Elevate so far is 2 out of 2. They're just not slowing down. And this is another attack around the 80% mark. Okay, let's see how that's going to work. The Skeleton Trap is going to delay him quite a bit. He has to invest that Rage just to speed up the Warden a little bit so he doesn't have to invest too many invisibility spells. Because he wants to have the Warden being stuck after those defenses so he can turn everything invisible and he gets the Fireball onto that Poison Tower. If that's the one target I would assume he's going for. Maybe there's something different. We will find out in just a second because I don't think that he will have the Warden Walk keep going for too much longer.
Yeah, no, I think what...
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. No, Crusher Motor. Let's just go for the center of the base. Oh, my goodness. Didn't quite get the Clan Castle down there, and he's lost his Grand Warden as well. Itsu got the Fireball, but the other aspects didn't work.
And the Clan Castle, he did not get the Clan Castle with the Earthquakes. I mean, to be honest, he could still go with the safer approach, but he just risked it all with this one attack. Clan Castle comes out, he does not have a poison, so this furnace is going to be not fun to encounter.
Especially as, look, everything's grouping up right now into that multi-inferno compartment, meaning the Fire Mice can just get extra damage, especially in combination with the Ice Golem. He's got some hero abilities to be able to try and lock up that Town Hall, but remember, only Bads only have a 6% advantage right now. Ninja needs to get the 3-star to lock up the wall for them. If he does not, then Elevate can still take this. No, that defending Royal Champion as well clung on with the tiniest bit of health and was devastating to his attacking Royal Champion. He's able to grind the percentage. You can see the frustration. However, you've got to think, only Bads had a 6% advantage. I did say some teams thrive at being the underdogs, and only Bads really stepping up here. Rakirez has to triple for Tribe Gaming. Starting out with the Royal Champion dive at the top of the base. All is safe at the moment. 2 invisibility spells. Oh, I think he wanted the RC to move in towards the center of the base there. Or... yeah, he's used another one, so surely he wanted to go to the middle.
He's having to use perhaps a lot more invisibility spells than he expected just to get to this position, and she's distracted by the Barbarian King to make matters worse. He seems to want the Hook Tower to go down. With the last invisibility spell, he is going to manage to take it out, but he's going to have to recall her out of there now.
That could be a game changer, but he does have the defensive funnel set. And if the last match with Elevate has taught us anything, it's when even things go wrong, these players can still correct it, just because of being a smaller building. But it's interesting that he overgrowth the area that we think he wanted to get with the Royal Champion. Now look, the Royal Champion is out in front here, so she... oh, I thought she was going to get targeted, but thankfully she doesn't for the moment. Can the Spirit Fox turn her back invisible one more time? She was there, but it looks like the Spirit Fox must have gone down. Gonna be close towards the end. I'm not sure he has enough power.
Took a lot of damage from the core there after the overgrowth spell wore off. Not only did the Royal Champion go down, but the Grand Warden and the healers did as well. The last Root Rider about to die to this Ricochet Cannon. We're just relying on the hero abilities here. It's looking a little grim for Rakirez as the Ricochet Cannon gonna take the Barbarian King down even through his ability, but the Archer Queen trying to muster up as much as she can, but you can see the frustration on his face, and you can see Only Bads already starting to get hyped up as they know as long as they don't mess things up really bad with their last attack, it's looking like they've got this.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to get that safe 2 stars.
Root Riders here for P. Castro, former world champion, former world's MVP. Notice a couple witches in his composition as well. I like that pairing, throwing those witches in to accompany the king, but look, oh my goodness, look at all these bombs going up.
Spirit
Can
Fox.
the Spirit Fox hold on? Spirit Fox goes down to all the bombs. This compartment was baited for an RC charge, Judo.
It certainly was. So with the Fox down, that means he's going to have to commit more invisibility spells. Does get the Poison Tower down, which is pretty important.
Storage and Clan Castle not gonna matter. But look at the double super miner out of the Clan Castle as well. Interesting combination here for Only Bads as we see Root Rider getting yoinked into the middle of the base by that hook tower, and it's gone instantly.
Yeah, I feel like anything you can do to try and trip your opponent is obviously helpful. He locked down the Town Hall, so he wasn't taking that poison damage, but obviously he does need to make sure he can get that down afterwards. But once the Overgrowth is worn off, should have more than enough troops. Keep an eye on the healers there though, Bash. So they were inside the poison of the Town Hall since it came back. Managed to use the Warden ability to keep them alive.
Yeah, they're a little bit under half health, so a couple red air bombs could take out the pack of healers as they are trailing behind. And it's not that tight-knit pack that we're hoping for when we see these Root Rider attacks. Everything's kind of spread out. We got the Giants from the Troop Thrower, got the Roots kind of surging, we got the Yetis in there. Now the healers split off into 2 packs. The Queen's out there with the King. This one's just all over the place. And when you get that, it is so tough to finish.
Still got the Overgrowth. I feel he's going to have to lock down the Monolith and the Multi here as he moves around. He's still got the King ability and the Queen ability, but like you said, there's a lot of base left. Unfortunately, he's got multiple Root Riders with healers in the center, but no damage troops behind to take advantage of that. So you notice the defending Royal Champion just picking apart those troops, and they're not really going to help very much in the center there. His good time is unfortunately ticking for him here, so yeah, 10 seconds, but he's actually pushing the percentage now past that of what we just seen from Sean, which was 87%, up into the 90s.
Chronos coming in now with a Root Rider attack of his own. Beautiful Royal Champion charge, gonna look to set everything up. There goes a Giant Bomb. You gotta keep an eye on those Giant Bombs. We've seen that be a factor all day here today, is trying to predict where is your opponent going to come in with their Royal Champion charge, because that is pretty meta. Here comes that Haze Foul, and she's surging forward fast now, Judo.
Yeah, beautiful job of the Invis there just to redirect her, but then also have the foresight of when the Invis was about to wear off, being able to use another to path her over the defense to the next one. Unfortunately, didn't get that multi-inferno at the end. He was very cautious on any damage, though, that if the Invis was going to wear off, he didn't want to risk losing the Royal Champion, so he ended up just leaving that there. Yeah, the tricky thing is here as well that with the Overgrowth, everything is pathing down to the south, so he doesn't really have anything in the core. He should hopefully be able to get the Fire Spitter down that compartment he has there, but then he's going to have to move into this thick area of defenses. He does have the King and Queen ability, but notice his tank troops are going down fast, and in hard mode, when the defenses deal 20% more damage, those hero abilities don't get you as far as you think.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things, not to mention like the hero equipment is capped as well. So it's like all that stuff kind of compounds, and it just makes things a lot tougher. King and Queen still have ability here, and we've seen this Queen ability clutch things up at the end. There goes the spiky ball for the King. I'm really concerned about the Monolith, however, but if he could spawn this giant out in front of the Queen and get the tanking that he needs, it could be a good thing. But it looks, oh wait, the Monolith's onto the giant. But he has to deal with that enemy King, and it's gonna be too much.
Yeah, I think he was hoping the wall breaker would path up towards the top area, but the compartment was already open next to the storage, you can see.
We have another crushing mortar as the seasonal defense, and he's going into the that Invis tower, that Invis spell is not really working as he was hoping for it, but he's going into the Giga Bomb, so we're going to see him use that new ice block spell to keep that Royal Champion safe. And talking about Royal Champion safe, yep, good timing right there. So everything stays alive.
Yeah, it's the ice block spell is a very nice spell. It negates most of the damage, all but 6%. But it's also very awkward with the timing when you're in the middle of a Royal Champion charge.
Yeah, the Root Riders are in, the Testoons are in, everything is going into that base. Nice Spring Trap to get away or get rid of that Ice Golem right away early on. And how good can that Crusher deal damage now? Because everything so far is getting pushed around the outside, but the Train Trap might push troops into the wrong direction. No, everything's staying together. That is the most crucial part.
Ricochet Cannon does go ahead and switch back over, though. Can't tell if it's on the King or some of the snakes, but either way, King is taking some of the damage from the ricochets. Queen goes ahead and pops ability with the mirror and the action figure, and here comes the Royal Champion surging forward. She's going to be unprotected, so she's going to get taken down quickly. The big issue here is that Minion Prince is just beating away and getting so much value. Luckily, there's a lot of snakes in there to tank. Now it's all onto the Queen to come over and just help out a little bit. With that Giant being full health, I don't know. This could go either way. He's shaking his head. I don't. Oh, time. I didn't see the time, Itsu. There's no time left. But now Dizzy can put this one away with a solid 2-star strike, which all their 2 stars have been really, really high percentage. So I think they would definitely be capable.
He is going. Oh no, Bash, no.
Oh boy, there goes the Giant Arrow. All right, I hope you guys were in for a little bit of a thriller. Could have went right at the Town Hall, secured the safe victory, but instead we're gonna go all the way across the base and add a little bit of drama into it, make it a little bit spicy, so to speak. Does have 1 overgrowth. That log launcher picking up some great value with the combination in there, but still the main thing here, you got to get all the way to the Town Hall, and the King now is almost taken out. Can the King pick up this whole compartment, which I think is the goal?
I mean, the plan looks amazing. You just have to say it how it is. I mean, that plan looks really, really solid, but it is a 3-star plan and not the safe 2-star plan, which they kind of need. So,
but now everything's on the Town Hall, and it is going to work out just fine. With the 2nd star secured, Dizzy will have the victory secured in this matchup. I had to add a little bit of fun to it. Malcolm Merlin here, or Mask. He did have the identity crisis. We're not sure which identity he's going by today. We'll find out later, I guess. But they are going to pick up the victory. I guess maybe it was, I was gonna say it was like too late in the war to change up the plan, but it was RC charge. He could have like RC charged one of these scattershot compartments and then sent the roots right at the Town Hall. But I guess if you have the plan in mind, you kind of like a creature of habit type of thing. I mean, it is a 3-star plan, and it gets really close here though, Itsu.
yeah, the plan itself, as I said earlier, I think the plan was amazing. It just had a lot of risk involved, let's put it that way. But maybe they just did not really come up with like another plan that I liked a lot as well for the safer approach, like pathing wise.